What is up, guys? Politics Gaming here, and today we're doing episode 2 of our Racine, Wisconsin series on the political process. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more of the political process, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Really glad you guys liked the first episode of this, and I'm very excited to finally be back into the political process. We have a lot of work to do. We are now the elected city councilman of the first district of the city council of Racine, Wisconsin. We have $5,000 to our campaign's name, and we have $30,000 that we are making every year. So we should be making some good money on the way. But let's go ahead and get into it and start getting our feet on the ground. We have 135 political points that we have. That is just not enough influence at all right now that we can use to influence the city council, but we're gonna have to go ahead and try something here. So we are a Republican, so we need to go over here. Let's go to a tax reform bill. And let's go ahead and contribute to the reduction of the property tax. We start off with $176 million in the city's name, so let's go ahead and reduce this. This should reduce it by $6 million. And what we can do to make up for that tax, I think we can go for a 2% sales tax, maybe 3%. Yeah, let's do 3%. 3% sales tax, and then we can reduce the property tax. Maybe we can eliminate the property tax. So we have the city council hearing, tax B1, Bill 1. William Clark, tax reform bill changes multiple tax policies within a single bill, creates a 2% tax on income from corporations, creates a sales tax with the tax rate of 5%, and eliminates the city property tax. Go ahead and continue. An increase of approximately $13.8 million. This is increasing taxes by $110 per taxpayer, or expressed as a percentage, an increase of 8%. Current tax levels are fine. We have a treasury surplus. There's no reason to increase taxes. If other politicians had my brilliance, they would not create this kind of legislation. I'm obviously opposing this kind of bill. And both the Democrats are against this bill. He wants to decrease to 1.5, decrease the sales tax 3.75. Let's go ahead and oppose this, and the city council votes against it. And we have Beth Mullins who votes for it, while Ford Carmichael, Dorian Hyde, Daquan Saab, and William Clark vote against the measure. Let's go ahead and then go to the actual vote itself. We're going to go ahead and support this legislation, and one Republican has moved against the bill, and that is Beth Mullins. We may have to try to get our protege into her seat if that is a possibility. Let's go over to politicians. Let's go to city council. Let's do politicians. Beth Mullins, she is in her 4th term. Goofy, extroverted, and gullible. You're going to do all district elections. See, she won with 100% of the vote. We're going to try to primary her in the next election. I think we're going to be doing at least 2 terms for this. And what the idea is for each episode in this series is going to be 1 episode is 1 term. So we're going to play through the next 4 years as William Clark. So we should have this, you might see a couple of time skips, mainly because during the middle of the year, there's really not that much to do. But let's do here, City Council District 2. So we're going to go over to Protege. We're going to select Protege. We're going to go to City Council. We're going to do District 2. That is a very Republican district. And we're going to put a Protege into this district. It is going to be 28-year-old Luke Whitehouse, and he will be our protege and will be primarying Miss Beth in the next election. City Council hearing for drug courts. What do we have here? And we have provides funding to drug courts. Drug courts are an alternative solution to sending drug criminals to prison. Establishes the program. Funding is determined during the appropriations budgeting process, and this will create drug courts at a cost of approximately $4.2 million, or 2% of the total budget. Drug courts will keep about 193 drug users off to jail and will reduce jail expenditure by $6.5 million. Given this reduction to the jail budget, the implementation of drug courts will actually decrease the total budget by $2.3 million. I think that would be very good for the city, so I think we could support this legislation. I think Beth should support it with us. And of all the things she didn't want to vote for, and it's going to be that. But we do help that pass. We could have voted against that and it would have failed. So let's go ahead and see what else is going on. We have the Republican primaries right now. We are in the year 2024. We will be watching some of these elections. And some news right here. Last evening, the police officers raided a large party where illegal drugs were in use. A little bit of a typo there. One notable individual attending the party was Representative F.J. Wainwright, who is the federal representative of Idaho District 2. Close friend of the host. According to the authorities, Mr. Wainwright was not charged with any crime and was not in possession of any drugs at the time of the raid. Wainwright released a statement saying that he was unaware that there would be drugs at the party and would not have attended if he had known. Some individuals have criticized Mr. Wainwright for his association with criminals, such as the host of the party. And we really don't think that, at least in my policy, drugs are not too bad, especially whenever it comes to marijuana. Marijuana is not as bad of a drug as you really think. So let's go over and double check on what my policy is on marijuana legalization. Right? Do you support or oppose making the recreational use of cannabis or marijuana legal? I'm gonna go ahead and switch that over. I also did change a couple of policies for us since we are in a blue state. Do you support or oppose the legalization of same-sex marriage? We put to support. And do you support or oppose making all abortions illegal? I put oppose. So that way we're still pretty conservative, but we are not, too hard right-wing conservative. So we at least are going to be able to have some sort of a lean and at least be electable whenever it comes to larger elections, like higher up elections. And so we do have our primaries here in Wisconsin. Let's go ahead and see who is on the ballot. We have Mackenzie Head and Lloyd Bolton, both of them are the last people to be in the primaries. So we do see that Wisconsin has been won by Bolton, and Mackenzie Head has won the Republican primary in the other side. So that will be our presidential candidates for the upcoming presidential election. Who are you guys rooting for? Active legislation, the third bill to be proposed in this session. We do see council hearing for we have a council hearing for minimum wage. So this is the amendment hearing. This is going to increase the minimum wage from $7.25 to $9.20, or $9 exactly. But we'll say no to an amendment. We'll just allow it to be voted on as is. And are we going to oppose or support? Or are we going to oppose it, or are we going to support it? So let's go ahead and see. I think just to get on the side of our fellow Republicans, we will vote against the measure, and we will let that go, because mainly I want to increase the influence that I have with our fellow colleagues, and if I vote along their lines, I will be able to at least have more influence, and they will vote for me whenever I truly need them. In recently uncovered footage, congressional candidate Dick Harvey of California 6 can be heard contradicting some of their policy positions from previous campaigns. Critics have suggested that Harvey was never sincere about the policy positions, but just used them to manipulate the voters. In a statement released to the public, Harvey said that their behavior was an error in judgment and that would not happen again. And we have an assault weapon ban in the city of Racine. So let's go ahead and see this. And establishes an assault weapon ban. There's no reason for the average citizen to own an assault weapon. This bill deserves to become law. I applaud the author. Therefore, I will support this legislation. We will definitely be voting against this legislation, and I will not be seeing the light of day. Go to legislation. Let's see what we can pass here. We have energy assistance. Could we do Assault weapon ban. Let's do social services. This will definitely be passed. This is $1 million expenditure with the poverty reduction of 100. And let's go ahead and go to the voting of this. And let's go ahead and support it. 4 people voted for it and 1 Republican voted against. Miss Beth Mullins is very much a stick in the mud, isn't she? City Council hearing, and this will 0.6% of the total budget will help most vulnerable members. Even Republicans actually voted it in. We have a create amendment to city budget. Let's actually spend a day. So we have the autumn event opportunities. So we have visit the Harvest Festival. I'm not going to be reading all of that, but create amendment to the city budgets. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and say yes. And we have a treasury surplus of $15 million. We have a mandatory expenditure of $496,000. Discretionary expenditure of $196 million. Total city expenditure of $197 million. And dedicated expenditure of $16.2 million. Let's go ahead and fire equipment, fire training, and let's do fire investigation, explosive ordnance. Let's do full funding to that, and social service programs. Let's do agency request $1.59 million. Let's go ahead and give a budget of $1.7 million. We'll actually do a budget of $2 million here. Current budget is 1.1, so we are basically doubling the budget. The mayor didn't request anything for the program, but we will propose a increase in that. And let's do an additional $400,000 to police intelligence and an additional $300,000 to police central dispatch. Let's go ahead and propose that over to the city council and say support that. And 1 Democrat or 2 Democrats, 1 Republican, and the other Republicans actually voted against our measure. Let's go ahead and send that over. We'll vote for all of our measures. Looks like the Republicans won't be voting for us in the future. I'll improve the country by opposing all of the bad policies proposed by my opponent and the opposition party. I'll improve education, fight for the environment, and improve healthcare. And I would like to first say I have great respect for my opponent. We may disagree on policy, but I believe my opponent has the best intentions. If I am elected president, I will keep in mind that regardless of all your differences, we all want the same things in life. It is that understanding that I will approach all aspects of the presidency. Specifically, there are some priorities I will want to address if I am honored with the presidency. I will improve tax policies, improve the economy, and improve healthcare. We will go ahead and continue on. The representative of California 5th District has resigned. Another presidential debates. Nothing too interesting here. Decide how to spend pre-election day, Halloween. Let's go ahead and scary movie, judge a pumpkin carving contest. And after weeks of rumors, has cheated on his spouse of Maryland 1. Wow, he just cheated on his spouse. He did not have blank relations with that woman. He did not. Let's go ahead and run these elections. We'll go ahead and watch as these elections unfold in 2024. All right, and we have the projections coming in. All of the states that are really normally being casted. Indiana has gone Republican. Wisconsin is very tight roped right now. Texas is being led by the Republicans. Florida is being led by the Republicans. Pennsylvania, Democrats in the Rust Belt. And we do see North Carolina. North Carolina has been called for the Republicans. Georgia has been called for the Republicans. And Michigan and Pennsylvania has been called for the Republicans, Democrats. Wisconsin has been called for the Democrats. And we have a Democratic president. President Bolton with 320 electoral votes and 218 for the Republican nominee, Mackenzie Head. Nevada, Arizona, North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan have all voted for the Democratic candidate. I would say almost Democratic landslide in our first presidential election that we have witnessed in this gameplay. So very, very interesting to see. Let's see what actually happened in the state of Georgia. We do see that places like Burke County, Jefferson County, Washington County, Baldwin County, if you actually see right here, this is what is known as the Black Belt. You can actually see a very, very clear line right here. This is where Mostly African Americans live and reside in Georgia, as well as the very suburban and urban places of Fulton County, DeKalb County, Gwinnett County, Cobb County, Douglas County, Henry County, and Newton County, and Rockdale County. All of these are a part of the Atlanta metropolitan area. We also have Savannah somewhere down here, Liberty County. In Wisconsin, we do see, I can't remember the name of this region right here, but there is actually a region for this. Kenosha County voted for the Democrats by 1394. Racine County, where we are, we have a 1,331 vote lead for the Republican. And in Milwaukee County, 137,000 votes separate the two candidates. And we have Grant County, very close over here. I don't think this is Wous. I think this is Wous. I can't remember. There's like a name for this little region right here in Wisconsin. I cannot remember it for the life of me. Too much time in election Twitter, huh? We have a Republican that has just been elected in the Senate for the state of Wisconsin. So Jeremiah Rand will be representing the state of Wisconsin over the next 6 years. And Chandler Platt loses by a mere 46,961 votes. There's actually a huge difference in vote share in the counties. Right over here, a lot more Republicans turn out in rural counties as well as in Grant County and in places like Kenosha County. Kenosha County is actually lost by the Republicans in the general election, in the presidential election, but in the Senate election, we do see that Kenosha County did vote for the Republicans by a mere almost 2,000 votes. Governor, we have a new governor in the state of Wisconsin, and this is actually we have no governor right now in the state of Wisconsin. State Senate in the Wisconsin legislature, we have a state Senate, 13 Democrats, 20 Republicans. State House, we have 2 gains for the Republicans and 2 losses for the Democrats. So very unfortunate to see the Democrats. Well, I wouldn't say unfortunate because we are a Republican. So you see that that will be our legislature for the next 2 years. We're now in week 14 of 2025. I'm going to go ahead and try at this tax reform bill again. Let's go ahead and see $177 million is a part of our budget. And let's go over here let's do a flat tax. Let's try to do a flat tax here. And we will do a 2% flat tax. And as well, we will do a sales tax of 2%. That will get us $187 million. I think what we could do, I guess, let's go ahead and abandon the flat tax. Let's just go back to the property tax. Let's just reduce it to 1.5%. I think 1.5% will be okay. And sales tax, we can do at, what can we do? We'll do a 1.1% sales tax rate right now. Now we're going to try for 2 and go ahead and continue, try to get that over. And tax reform, let's see what the idea is behind it. No reason to increase taxes. And let's go ahead and support. And the Republicans and actually one Democrat voted against it. Right, we are now in week 5 of 2026. Kind of just skipping over a lot of stuff right now. Let's go ahead and try for a tobacco tax. Trying to get some stuff done before this next election next year. Let's go ahead and go for a $1 tax on tobacco. And let's see what that does. Go over here and $59 per taxpayer. We should discourage smoking. Increasing the tobacco tax will help with this. I am supreme expert of decision making. I love this guy. Love the guy that's literally just like, I am the extreme expert on decision making. I am a god in this realm. Okay, so we get another law passed in the city of Racine. Let's go ahead and also go for a alcohol tax. Trying to discourage all of these vices as much as we can. So let's go for a $1. Let's just do a $1 tax on alcohol. And city council hearing. I wanted to see what everyone thought about it, but go ahead and just support it. And that is we get good. Did we get a tax reform passed? I believe. No, we did not. No, we didn't. We also want to do a crime bill. I want to do a crime bill. go ahead and increase the violent crime on try to get over 100 people into jail sentence for violent crimes, and like I said, I mean less criminals on the streets but at greater expense to the government. Go ahead and try to increase the violent crime length, and go over here, let's try to support it, and that passes. All right, so and we have Beth Mullins proposing an increase to the minimum wage. Minimum wage is the lowest hourly wage that an employer is permitted to pay an employee. The intention of a minimum wage is to reduce poverty. Increasing the minimum wage from $7.25 to $8 an hour from Beth Mullins, a fellow Republican in the City Council. Let's go ahead and give her the benefit of the doubt and support this legislation. We are supported by 2 other Democrats along with Beth Mullins. Ford Carmichael has voted against the piece of legislation, but we will have passed it anyway. So a couple of new city laws will be going into effect in this next term. President Lloyd Bolton was reported making sexist and disrespectful remarks toward women. Members of the community want an apology from Mr. Bolton. Some have even called for him to withdraw from the election. In a statement released to the public, Bolton said that the comments were made in error judgment and would not happen again. Very interesting that it's actually the same exact line that we saw from the other incident that we saw. I don't think we're going to be doing anything with the city budget for this year, so I will be ignoring that. And let's go ahead and watch. We're going to go ahead and skip to the end of this election. We're just going to look at this at the results. In Wisconsin, we do have a 6 Republican delegation that will be sent to Washington, and 2 Democrats. U.S. Senate, we do not have any Senate elections, but we do have a gubernatorial election. 51.9 for governor, our newly elected governor, Frederick Maurer. We have 190,000 vote lead for Frederick Maurer, and he is 51.9 to 45.1, and the independent candidate got 83,000 votes at 3% of the votes. We see a huge amount of Democrats turned out over here in this area, and we do see that all 3 counties in the Milwaukee metropolitan area did vote for the candidate. We do see that actually, okay, this is actually the WoW County. So it's the WoW counties are Ozaukee, Washington, and Waukesha. Those are the WoW counties. That's actually what I was talking about earlier. Now I remember that it is Waukesha, Washington, and Ozaukee. And then we also have Racine and Kenosha that are pretty important. We do have Racine and Kenosha that are pretty important to the mix whenever it comes to Milwaukee. State House, we do see that Republicans gained another 4 seats in this election, with 60 Republicans now in the state legislature and 39 Democrats being represented now. That is just over the past couple of years, Democrats have just been losing more and more ground in the state legislature. So it's very good to see that there is at least a good amount of Republican representation whenever it comes to this to the state. In 2027, the following elections will take place: school board, city council, and mayor. Presidential election campaign will begin next year. He has reached the presidential term limits and will not be seeking re-election. I thought that was his first election. School board member Hadley Norder will not seek re-election. If you run in this election, you have a good chance of winning. The mayor seems to not be stepping aside, so he will be running for another term. But we do have a protege, which is running for the other, for running for that Mullins spot. So we will go to the next day, and we will run for re-election in the city council. Say yes. We have $374,000 to our campaign's name, and that is good. Let's go ahead and see what our automatic public opinion stuff is. Let's go ahead and hold a rally. I don't think it will let me. Let's go over here to general, and let's do some TV ads. A little bit of Democratic support. Are we having any opponents right now? We are unopposed in this election, so that is good. We don't really have to actually do any campaigning. We just fundraise, and that is going to be the campaign. Just get 100% of the votes. Good. At least we'll have like $500,000 in the bank. Whenever we do decide to run for a higher office, that is going to be the good thing about this, is that at least, we will have a really good piggy bank whenever it comes to we try to run. So I think maybe we could go for state house, join the state legislature, or we could go for mayor. I think mayor or state legislature would make a lot of sense. But what do you guys think? Should I run for mayor or should I run for like state house or state senate? I think maybe if I ran for mayor and then I ran for state senate, it would actually make a lot more sense. City council, I think. I mean, it could be pretty sensible for us to go from city council to state senate. I mean, we're pretty well known, everything, 208,000 name recognition, 252 political points. We actually do need a little bit more political points in order to be relevant in the state senate. So I think maybe if we were to go into the state house, we'd be a lot better whenever it comes to how we're just treated. We're in the 22nd district whenever it comes to the state senate elections, state senate, 22nd district. Let's just go ahead and go to the election. We'll just go over here, and we do see. Let's go ahead and just watch on fast mode. Harrison Jacob and Dustin Chand will be running against each other. It looks like the Democrat will be winning this one by 6,255 votes. And the Republican will not be winning. However, we again win our election, 100% of the vote, 18,000 votes. City Council District 1, 2, 3, and 5 were all unopposed, and District 4 was the only one with actual considerable opposition. I think what we could do is to have a protege run in District 4, and then maybe that actually looks flippable to us. So I think what we can do before we go is going to do City Council District 4. We can actually get the... do a 28-year-old Dave Garcia. We're going to try to get him in the next election. But go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything whenever I do make it on the channel. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this with me. We will be watching over the State House, State Senate, U.S. House, and U.S. Senate elections, as well as the presidential election in the next episode. You actually see that the representative has decided to retire. If I run in this election, I have a pretty good chance of winning. But if I run for state senate, apparently I don't really have that good of a chance. Should I run for state senate in the next episode? Should I stay and complete this term and run for mayor in the next election? Or should I run for representative? What do you guys want to see? So we have mayor, we have a state senate, or we have representative. Go ahead and leave your suggestions down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.